Hi, I'm Stephanie Wood, and I'm participating in this Art Every Day Month challenge. And if you haven't seen the other tapping videos I've put up, I'm doing this tapping on my own issues around creativity and what's coming up for the challenge. And if you'd like to tap along with me, feel free. I'm an EFT practitioner, and I thought I'd just share my journey, and I figured it may help others who have some similar issues. So right now, what I'm going to tap on is feeling really attached to the outcome and feeling like it needs to be perfect or it needs to be great, or else, it's all the judgment that comes up around whatever you're making. And I haven't made anything in a few years, so a whole bunch of this is coming up for me, so I'm gonna work on this. So if you want to participate with me, just tap along and just say the words after me, or you can replace the words with ones that more suit your particular issue. So I'm just going to start by tapping. Actually, I'm going to check in with yourself and give yourself a rating on a scale of 0 to 10 of how intense you feel about the need to make nice things or to have it be perfect when you sit down to do something, when in reality, so much is just practice. And check in with your attachment to the outcome. For me, it's about the attachment to the outcome and wanting it to be perfect. So for me, that's about a 6 or a 7. So I'm just going to start tapping. Tap along, side of the hand. If you want to know where the points are, if you want to chart, just email me or let me know. I can give you some more information, but you can still get something out of it if you just tap along with this. So even though, and just repeat that after me, I am really attached to the outcome of creativity. I acknowledge that's how I feel. Even though I feel really attached to the outcome, and I really judge it if it's not the way that I want it to be, and I want it to be perfect, and I want it to look fabulous, that's just how I feel right now. Even though I feel very attached to the outcome of everything I'm making, and I have a lot of judgment about it, I acknowledge that that's how I feel. And now I'm going to tap through my points, top of the head. I'm really attached to the outcome. Inside the eyebrow. I don't want to make anything that's icky or ugly. Side of the eye. I have so much judgment about every time I sit down to make something. Under the eye. It holds me back. It's held me back for a few years now. Under the nose. This attachment to perfectionism. In the chin. All this judgment about needing it to be perfect or the way that I want it to be. Collarbone. All the ways I judge my process and anything I make. Under the arm. I want it to be perfect. I want it to be nice. There we go. And if you yawn or sigh, often that means there's a release. So, and the wrist, all this attachment to it being perfect or nice or beautiful or whatever intention I had for whatever I was making. Top of the head, all this attachment to the outcome. Inside of the eyebrow, all the ways it gets in the way of just having fun. Side of the eye, all the ways that it gets in the way of experimenting big time. Under the eye, all the ways I block my own creativity by being attached to the outcome. Under the nose, so much attachment. And the chin, so much judgment. Collarbone, all the judgment I have about what I make. Under the arm, and it can be either arm. All this attachment to the outcome. And the wrist, all this judgment, this stupid judgment Okay, and the top of the head, this remaining judgment inside the eyebrow, and all the ways I hold it in my body. Side of the eye, all the ways it gets in the way. Under the eye, all the ways I feel all this judgment. Under the nose, all these judging thoughts. And the chin, I release all this judgment about how it has to be. Collarbone, all this judgment. And now just take a breath and check in with how you feel. How intense does it feel, the attachment, the judgment? For me, right now, it feels like it's gone down. And sometimes it can bring up issues, and that's okay too. That just gives you something else to tap on. That's normal. But I feel like it's gone down to about a 3. And so once it gets down below about 4, you can start introducing positive phrases. So I'm just going to start tapping through that. So what if I could be open to the possibility, and just repeat these phrases if you'd like. Inside the eyebrow, that it's okay to experiment. Side of the eye, it's okay to make things I don't like. Oh, that's even hard to say still. Okay, under the eye, I'm going to try again. It's okay to make things that I don't like. Under the nose, it's okay to make stuff that doesn't turn out the way that I want it to. And the chin, it's okay to release some of this judgment. Collarbone, what if it's okay to just keep practicing? Under the arm, what if I could be open to the possibility of looking at this differently? And the wrist, what if I could see this as learning and practice? Oh, that's kind of good. Top of the head, what if I could release my attachment to this? Inside of the eyebrow, what if I could really just enjoy the process? Side of the eye, even when it's not turning out the way I want it to. Under the eye, what if I could just let it go? Under the nose, and maybe try making something else. In the chin, or keep going with it and see what happens. Even if I hate it. Collarbone, what if I could just enjoy hating it? What if I could just be like, this is awful, but maybe it's still a practice of a technique. I don't know how. I would love to hear from you guys how you deal with that, because I'm not an artist, and I would love to hear how people who are creative deal with that. I'm sure it must happen for almost everybody. All this attachment to the outcome. And the wrist, all the ways I release more and more of this. And then a breath. Okay, so I'm going to pause here, and I'm actually feeling a little calmer, and I hope you are too if you've been tapping along. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have anything that comes up for you that you'd like to see a tapping video on during this month, just email me or put it in the comments, and it's my pleasure to do some tapping with you via video. So enjoy, and happy art making.